What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Braxton's Family Values the last season, episode 16. This is the season finale, Iyanla Fix My Life Part 2. And the question is, can the Braxtons make a full recovery? Stay tuned to find out.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I thought you would've won from the jump that confirmed.
Hey.
Trap money, Benny.
Hey.
I'm talking Billy Rock.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey.
Give it to him.
Go.
I'm trying to
Okay,
do the dance.
lights.
I know you smart,
Hey.
girl, 'cause I know too many.
Do you love me? Are you riding
Say you never ever leave.
from beside me?
And it's Throwback Thursday. This is a
That's it
slight
right
little
there.
throwback right here.
Welcome back to Braxton's Family Values, the last episode of the season. It's your girl, Brittany Q Hill, who's joining me on the panel
Yo,
tonight.
it's the one and only the Tyler Tyson.
And you already know what it is. It's Imani J.
And we in the house. Hey.
Yo, you can
So-
let that ride.
Oh, no, this
What
is
did y'all
my
think
song
about
right
tonight's episode?
This episode was everything I wanted and
Everything.
then some.
Yes.
here. You know what? It was too emotional for me.
It was.
was very
emotional.
It was an emotional roller coaster. I think at one point I even shed a tear.
Yeah.
I shed
Yeah.
multiple. I was so ashamed. I'm like, why am I crying over
Yeah.
this show?
Aw.
Yeah, but it was, I expected it to be this good for the season finale, and they did not disappoint.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the first topic of the night. So
Okay.
we're going to talk about, because in the beginning of the episode, we saw just a multitude of emotions with Tamar. So let's talk about her behavior. Go ahead, take a deep breath, because we all need it.
It's so much to uncover as it relates to Tamar. Like, I really, and I'm a huge fan of Tamar. So
Yeah.
it was like, really was like, I'm always rooting for her. But there came a point, I was like, you're getting on my nerves. Like,
Listen.
somebody needs to, you know how your mom used to take you outside with a switch? Like,
Yes.
somebody needs to take a switch to you because you are just out of control right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
And like even how she needed a break for herself. I needed a break. I pressed pause so many times. I'm like,
Tamar,
Stop.
she...
The whole time, her facial reactions, her whole mannerisms, the outfit.
She
the
came in
head.
ready. Can we
Yeah,
talk
that
about that?
camouflage? Yeah.
Yes.
So do we feel that was deliberate?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
She
Okay.
came in ready to just
She had on
like,
the
go
boots.
to war.
Yeah.
But it was evident. It was very clear that she's hurt.
It was very evident.
clear.
So one thing that stood out to me was that Iyanla called her abusive. She said her behavior was abusive. So do we agree with that?
Absolutely.
And in what way?
100%.
Absolutely. It's funny because at work today, all we were talking about were relationships and how you kind of attract either like subconsciously you attract the thing that you don't really like. And she was on Wendy not too long ago, and she was talking about she and Vince, well, she was in an abusive relationship, and she was talking about it wasn't physical, it was verbal. Well, that's you get what you get. Like
Right.
Tamar's can be an abusive person verbally.
Right.
Yeah.
And it almost sounds like she could have been the one that was abusive in that relationship.
Oh,
Yeah, it
You know
probably
what I mean?
was just like a mutual
It
thing,
was definitely
especially if
mutual,
you're in a
yeah.
relationship with someone who is like
Right.
verbally abusive. You match that level because
Yeah.
it's like you're in that environment and
Yeah.
you know, we're all human. Sometimes you just snap and go there.
Yeah.
So she probably brought it out. I'm not even gonna say that she brought it out because we don't know that.
But I also think in her defense, I don't think she always means to go that route.
Right.
But it's kind of, as they laid it out, it's kind of been her thing. Like that's
Yeah.
what she does. So that's like her comfort. That's her go-to.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's still abusive nonetheless.
Yeah, so did we see how Miss Evelyn snatched her up real quick,
Oh,
though?
yes. Oh,
I
yes.
was like, thank you.
Finally, the mom has
Finally.
returned. Yeah.
But Iyanla had to kind of trigger it. She's
She
like,
did.
so who's gonna stop this?
Yeah.
At this point. And
Yeah.
so I'm happy that
Yeah.
Evelyn.
What
did
I
that.
appreciated was that in that moment, if you paid attention to everybody's face, everybody was like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the level of respect that they had for
Yes.
Mama E, I feel like that says a lot because all of them shut up real quick and was like,
But that's why I said the last episode that we covered, they all look at mom. They look at, and that's why I took away her
permission.
mom and I was just calling her Evelyn.
Yeah.
They look at her for validation. Like,
Yep.
okay, mom, we're gonna follow your lead. That's
Yeah.
the mother duck. How
Exactly.
mother duck operates, that's how the rest of us follow. And when she doesn't do anything, they kind of just run amok. But when she was acting right, oh, they all just
Yeah.
they all fell in line.
her
So now
up.
I can refer to her as Miss E again.
Yeah. Well, another thing though that Iyanla pointed out was she said that Tamar is the physical manifestation
Yes.
of what Evelyn feels
Yes.
within herself.
That was deep. Because the first episode, like just to piggyback off what you said, we seen how when Evelyn came in, their whole dynamics were just like off because she was off. So, and not only that, it was Miss E and Tamar, they were just like going at it with Iyanla. So it was just like, I could definitely see
I definitely
that.
agree with that.
Very stubborn and just like.
And they're going to do
Very
it their
stubborn.
way. They make their own set of... Y'all can follow. Remember, she didn't want to commit to staying.
Yeah.
And Miss E was like, so let me get this straight. Everybody else but Miss E, you still need to think about it. Like, that's exactly what Tamar does.
Same thing. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So one more question about Tamar. Do you guys think that her sisters are scared of her? Do you guys see a little bit intimidation?
I think Trina maybe.
Yeah.
Trina may be a little...
Tamar snatched off her eyelashes.
Oh my God.
But that was
But
that was so disrespectful because Trina was like, "Are you sure you're gonna be done before Miss Iyanla walks in?"
Right, yeah.
And Tamar was like, "Oh no, I got it." The moment Miss Iyanla walks in, Tamar's still doing her thing. And that's so
Yeah.
disrespectful.
But it's not only
It
is it
was.
disrespectful, it just showed her, like disrespectful and just her lack of consideration for what was seriously going down. Like you're worried about some eyelashes right now, but
Right.
we need to be getting to the root of some serious issues that we're all having. And it seems like she didn't want her eyelashes to get done, but Tamar
Exactly,
just literally snatched them off before she could wait, no.
That's
She
why
needed
I
something.
found it condescending, because if your sister tells you, "No, I'm good, it's okay, it's fine," and you took it off of her lash, but she didn't even realize what she was doing until she was like, "Okay, my eyelash is gone." But that's very condescending.
And I don't know much about eyelashes and putting them on, but in my mind, when she did that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she might have snatched out some of her real eyelashes." Like,
If you're not careful, you can.
and I don't know
snatch
how
out some
fast they
lashes.
grow back.
Well,
but
I seen the glue. It was that little black,
The little hair-
tacky
the hair
glue. Yeah, our eyelashes will be all right, but still, it's the point.
That's so dope. But okay, so Amani, you want to give us our live read?
Well, let me tell you guys some stuff, some juicy stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Give us the tea, sis. Give us the tea.
So, hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from drama, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels, and by subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for allowing us and helping us be the best ESPN of TV talk.
Hey,
come through.
Thank you.
through. Go ahead and hit that
Just
that
for you.
subscribe button.
Yes. Ooh,
I
I
got you.
needed that.
I got you.
So we're gonna move on and talk about the confessions of the show, which I felt were like slightly surprising, especially Tamar's. But we're gonna leave Toni's for last because that's gonna take us to our next segment. But like, what do you guys feel about the confessions? Were there any confessions from any of the sisters that stood out to you the most or shocked you the most?
Tony's.
Toni's right. We're gonna save the best for last.
Oh, all right.
I don't think Tony's didn't shock me. Let me think of everyone else.
Okay.
I don't think any of them surprised me. I was a little shocked that Papa Braxton, Michael, he took ownership
Yes.
of not being there and everything that he had done to the girls. And also Miss E following it. And the fact that she, because, like you said, Miss E has come a long way since the beginning of this whole therapy process. And for her, just like Tamar, to take ownership and actually utter the words, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
progress. So I think
Yeah.
Miss E is the one that surprised me
You
the
know
most.
what? Since you mentioned the father, I thought it was hilarious when Tamar is like, "You will leave at this time and get back at 12
Right.
AM,
He
right.
tried to act like he didn't know. Right.
And he was like,
He
really?
said,
Like, so
No,
you
don't
didn't
get
know?
amnesia
Right.
now.
No, he's like, was that every day?
Right. You know what you did.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yes,
you won't
bruh.
home.
Every day
Right.
you were gone.
Well, what I also liked about Pops was that when him and Miss E were doing their individual confessions with Iyanla, and Iyanla asked, "Do you still love your husband?" And Miss E was like, "No."
Nope.
But I appreciated how Pops was like, "Yeah, I do still have love for her."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
think he
understand
knows.
both perspectives, but I feel like when you really love someone, does it ever fully die.
That's what I was about to say. I think once again, that was another moment of Miss E and Tamar having similar reactions, because that's exactly what Tamar would have said and how she would have said it.
Right.
She did.
With the neck jerk at it.
But she did for her ex-husband.
Yeah, you did.
He's
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, right,
So-
she did say that. You're right. But I think that that Miss E still does love Braxton, Mr. Braxton. But
absolutely. She's
afraid.
guarded.
She's guarded. She's
Yeah.
afraid
Guarded.
to go there and be that transparent and be like, you know what? Yes, he
Yeah.
broke my heart, but after however many years of match, I still love this man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see she's clearly still hurting
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what
it was all in her posture. The way she's sitting
sat
was
into
a little
her
her
slanted.
tone of voice and
Yeah.
baby girl, you still want that man. It's okay. It's okay.
Or maybe she doesn't want him, but it would be nice to see her finally let go
Yeah.
and just really enter a state of just peace.
Right. What's our live chat saying?
Well, actually, it's Jay Lamar. He said that.
Hey, boo.
He was like, I don't think they're scared of Tamar, but I do think that they give in to her childish behavior a lot. So,
Agreed.
They probably don't want to just match that level. Like, I don't know. For me, arguing with people is just exhausting.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be passive to kind of like, okay, I
you
don't
can't
feel
do
like
that with
going
certain
there.
people, though.
No,
Yeah,
you
and
really
I mean,
can't.
it's not good in most cases. You should be able to speak up, but I could see them being passive
Yeah.
to just alleviate the
For sure.
drama.
I want to also point out Traci's confession, because a lot of this season was about Traci, and one thing that stood out to me, she said that I confess, or I'm confessing that I've been selfish. Do we think she's been selfish, or did she finally put herself first?
She put herself,
She put herself first.
You know?
I don't
Yeah.
think she's been selfish at all.
At
actually,
all.
like from season 1 to now, I would use the word selfish to describe Tamar. I would use the word selfish sometimes to describe Miss E, maybe Toni from time to time, but I wouldn't even use that to describe Traci
Yeah,
ever.
I was shocked that she said that. I wish she would have elaborated more on in what way she's been selfish, because I feel like for once we finally got to see her owning who she was unapologetically.
I think that should have been the moment where Traci finally said, because I feel like even though Miss Iyanla individually pointed it out to all the girls, but it would have been so powerful if Traci would have said, I confess that I always feel like I'm the outcast. If she had
I'm the black
uttered
sheep.
those words so that the girls could hear it and feel it from her,
Yeah.
I feel like that would have really opened their
Yeah.
eyes to a lot of things.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely. Well, since we said we were going to save the best for last, we're going to talk about Toni's confession. Baby! So Toni decides to confess that although she loves her family, she doesn't like them. And she goes on to say, if they weren't my family members, they wouldn't be my friends. That's heavy.
That's heavy, but
That is
real.
That's real.
Yeah.
She stayed like so straight the
Straight
whole
straight
day.
face,
She
like,
meant that
She
thing.
said it twice. She said everybody.
Everybody.
Right. And did y'all see Miss
Everybody.
E's face? She was like, oh, okay, well, me too. Yeah, you
She
too.
like, I'm not singling anyone out. Everybody.
Right. But the question is, can we relate? You know?
Oh,
Oh, first,
I can.
First
Let's
off,
hear it.
can we just start with what I could not, before I even tackle this issue, that I have a new, there are 4 ladies that are on my crush list. I might have to slide Toni Braxton on back. That woman is gorgeous.
She's
Did you
beautiful.
see how
that
beautiful
red
she
lip, honey,
Good
baby.
Lord, she
Braxton
look-
Bay of the day goes out to Toni Braxton, baby. You look good.
I will take the oldest one. I don't need any. Okay. Anyway, but
before we get all into that.
Birdman gonna come for you.
I can take them. I'm confident in my. I'm confident in my look.
Right hand rub.
I got this. I got this.
Happen to that boy.
Right. But I think what I feel, I agree.
You can
I can
relate.
understand it. I can relate. I feel that way currently about quite a few of my family members. I love them, but we would not, if we weren't family, no. I mean, we barely talk now. We would not be friends.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
And some people are just extremely toxic. It's just
Yeah.
like family member or not, I cannot have you in my space.
Right.
So if you weren't my family,
yeah.
you're not in my face. Yeah, you're not in
Yeah.
my space now. So I would
Yeah.
not even think twice about including you.
I can definitely relate. I have a particular family member that I was thinking about this week that love her to pieces, but we just can't get it right. We just, I don't know what it is, if there's some type of like envy or what, but it's just like no matter how much we love each other, we just can't seem to click. So I'm not a relationship expert or a guru, but I know somebody who is, which leads us into our special segment with none other than the only host that's missing is Jay Lamar. So if you guys aren't familiar with the relationship segment, what we do is we bring up a topic from the show, whether it be about relationships, friendships, whatever, and then our relationship expert, Jay Lamar, will pitch in and tell us what he thinks about what's going on and how to fix it. So let me go ahead and get Mr. Jay Lamar to call in and see what he thinks.
Let me tell you, one of my all-time favorite songs. If I had like a top 5, this would be it.
Hey.
This song right here is everything.
We're going to see what Jay Lamar has to talk about. But what do you guys think while we're waiting on him to call in? What do you think is the best way to handle a situation with a family member that you don't get along with or that you just don't like?
I love the way Iyanla points out that you should just address it head on. It sounds so easy when she says it, but I know in my experiences, it hasn't been that easy. I'm not like a head on type of person. Like, let me tell you what you did wrong.
Right.
Because some people, they're like a Tamar. Ooh,
Is that our guy?
Wait, did he get the Skype?
I don't know. I know he. Hey, Jay, you on the line?
Okay.
Hey, boo.
Yes, it's me.
Hey, Taylor.
We miss you.
Hey, I miss y'all too. Wait a minute. Tyler, you need to button your shirt up.
Wait, hold on. I was just about to say, Jay, I put on a whole shirt for you. There's no tank top. There's no muscle shirt. I put on a whole button-down shirt for you.
Still have to show a little muscle.
I mean, but come on now. I'm not going to be buttoned all the way up now. You got to give the people a little something.
You showing out because I'm not there. Huh? Okay.
So, Jay Lamar, while we got you on the line, give us the tea, bro. How can we handle family situations? You know, if we have a particular family member that we don't get along with or that we don't like, how do we go about either resolving it or just brushing it up under the rug?
I don't think that when it comes to family that you should ever brush it up against the rug unless it's becoming like too detrimental to your mental health. So like with the whole like Tamar situation and Traci, I can see why Traci kind of like shut her sisters off to a certain point because it was becoming detrimental to her mental health. Like she wasn't able to function to her full capacity because she was so worried about her sisters and what they were doing. And I think for her, it had to click in her mind like, yo, my sisters went on with their life, achieved so many great things. Now it's my turn. And when I want them to be happy for me, they're not.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes when it comes to family, I'm not saying you have to, kill family off of your head, but it is good sometimes to just put them on the back burner and live your life for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Asking Jay Lamar, would you describe Traci, because she described herself in her confessional as selfish, and listening to what you just said, she always put her family before herself. So do you think she was accurate in describing herself as selfish, or would you use something else to describe her?
I would not use selfish to describe Traci Braxton at all. I think that finally she had a selfish moment.
Right.
But it was a well-deserved selfish moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes, to me, I look at it as it's a self-care moment. You have to take care of you when it's time to take care of you. Because when you realize and you look around you, you're so busy worried about everybody else when they're worried about themselves and they're thriving and you're not.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she should have used selfish. I think she should have said, I finally took care of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That is it right there.
Well, thank you so much for your input.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Yeah, thank you. I miss y'all too, and I just want to thank the AfterBuzzers for tuning in with us all season. The season went by so fast.
It did.
Sure did.
So quick. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all
We
soon.
love you
you
too.
get back.
See you when you get back. Be safe. Thanks for calling in.
All right.
All right, that concludes our relationship segment, and we're going to move on to our final segment of the night. I want to really talk about, because a lot of our emphasis on the entire season has been on Tamar's behavior, and at the end of the show, we saw a very pivotal moment for her and how she went to each person individually and asked for forgiveness. So I just want to know, how did you guys feel about that? Was it sincere?
Like, you want to go first?
I think it was sincere. I had a moment where I'm just like, okay, maybe during her break, because I don't know how she came to that realization within that break. I don't even know how long the break was, but I was just like, maybe her PR team or something was like, look, Tamar, you're looking shitty right now, so redeem yourself.
Facts.
But I think it was sincere. It was also some moments where I'm like, oh, she's so dramatic.
She's so dramatic, and what I was just confused. I'm like, she was doing all this, but I didn't see not one tear fall down her face. I'm like, where's the water, girl? Where's the where are the tears?
She's good at the faces.
That's what I'm
even
saying.
the mouth, I can't even do it. It was like,
Right. So I'm like, was that all for show? Because she put on honey, you was on Broadway.
Yeah.
That was a show.
This is what. So when I first started watching, I was like you.
Okay.
I think both of y'all said it. I was like, this is fake. She's putting on for the camera.
No
she's
tears.
getting her acting on. But I must say, in watching it and watching her apologize to each one, once again, something I've never really seen her do.
Yeah.
It did I did feel like it was a sincere situation, and I was literally sitting there like. I was like, why am I getting a little misty? And then a couple tears fell. I was like, oh, what we're not gonna do is cry over Braxton family values. But I really was. I was buying it. So if
Yeah.
it was fake, which I don't think it was, you deserve an Emmy or an Oscar or
You
something,
know?
because that was a great performance. Because
Right.
it looked real.
And maybe it was sincere, but I feel like in pure Tamar fashion, I felt like she found a way to
All
make it
eyes.
her show
Yep.
Yes.
again.
Yes.
Again.
yes,
Yes.
because it ended with her
It ended
and
with
just
her.
like, oh, I feel so relieved. I'm gonna be a good person. I'm like, okay, and while being a good person, Iyanla deserves an apology as
That's
well.
That's what I was waiting on.
right.
That's what I was
Never
waiting on.
Imani,
Never
you are
happened.
right.
And I was just like,
Dang.
I was waiting. That to me would have shown the
I
real
think-
growth. If she had said,
Yeah.
you know what, Iyanla, I've messed up big time, and I
Right.
owe you an apology. But that never
I
happened.
didn't think
Never.
of that.
Yep.
That is a great
girl,
point.
that's Auntie Iyanla. I'm like, okay, so when are we gonna hit?
She should have been
here.
one of the main people to apologize. She should have apologized to her first.
Yeah.
What we looking at in the live chat?
Who is this? Shugal2 said, did anyone see that part where Iyanla asked about who started the strike, and Trina and Towanda said it was Tamar that brought the idea to them?
Dang.
I think it was Towanda who said Tamar.
Yeah.
It was Tamar.
And they said it quick.
But this is,
Yeah.
I said the same thing that Traci said when Traci was talking about the strike, and she was like, I understand negotiating contracts and all that, but you kind of do that before you start your season.
Right.
Or at the end of, you don't usually do that in the middle of a season.
You know.
So even though they might have been right to be like, yo, we need some more money because our ratings are ridiculous and we pretty much make WeTV. I don't think you should. I personally don't think you should do it in the middle of production. Like you've already signed on,
You've
like
already
Traci, you
signed.
signed on the dotted line. Let's work this out, and then next season we come back for more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, they were saying that they had issues with production, so I would like to know what those exact issues are, because in that case, maybe we could agree with them going on strike. We don't really know, but I agree with you, though. Once you sign on that dotted line, it's like, what can you really negotiate at that point?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that Tamar was the voice behind the whole strike.
Right.
And it seems like she had the most to say when obviously Traci decided to stay. But so what's the verdict? Was she sincere and all?
I'm going to believe that she was sincere.
Okay, but there's been so much drama after this whole counseling session, so
That is
it's
true.
really,
That is
really,
true.
That
really
sounds
hard
like you
to
got some
say.
more tea. That
is
sounds like we
true.
need to go ahead and move on to the news segment. You,
know
got
what?
any news
You
for
sure
us?
did get all hyped up, but
What's the tea, sis?
look, I don't have the tea. I'm not Jay Lamar. I don't have the man on the
Yes,
curb.
come through.
But
Jay
what
Lamar
I-
hit us in the live chat.
Come
You got
on,
some
man, on the
news.
curb.
But what I do know is that Tamar is going to be joining Snoop Dogg in a new play. What was that play name?
I did see that.
Something of a dog.
Yeah.
Redemption of a dog.
Redemption of a Dog.
So maybe she was
Okay.
working on her acting right now,
That's what
getting
it was.
prepared for the play.
That's what the
You onto
Oscar
I'm just saying.
that Oscar nominated performance was. She was getting ready for her
And you
play.
know, I don't know if she's in competition with Toni or however that's working, but Toni's
Yeah.
doing her whole acting career.
Oh, yeah, she
Right,
had a
yeah,
little-
yeah.
Popping off. So maybe little sissy trying to come through.
I did see both Tamar and Snoop appear on the Steve Harvey show to promo for their play, and it was funny because Snoop they played a little game where Snoop revealed that Tamar don't know her lines.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah, so Tamar,
She needs some help.
You know what I'm saying? She talk a lot, but baby girl, go ahead and get them lines memorized while you at it. Any more tea?
Well, he did say that she was on time when they played the game. Like, who's late to the set for rehearsal? Tamar was on time for that.
What?
He was saying he was the one that was always late. So I don't. With Tamar, I just feel like I'm always rooting for her. You don't know what's.
Right,
You just
right.
don't
We
know.
were rooting for you.
People pick and choose what they want to be respectful to and not
Yeah.
respectful to.
Yeah, and I feel like, with her showing up late to the commitment with Iyanla, that also may have been deliberate as well.
Yeah,
You know
most
what I mean?
definitely. It was just her showing like,
Right.
let me do the face.
Right. She don't run nothing
Needed
over
her
here.
moment.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No more news? That's all the tea?
That's all. We still waiting on Toni and Birdman's wedding. Other than that,
Did Jay Lamar say anything about it, if he has any?
he didn't.
Word on the curb for
He
us?
didn't. He must be on the curb.
You know what? We did not. I wanted to point out Tamar and the sis real quick when she kept
Tamar?
calling Iyanla sis.
Oh.
And Iyanla had to let
Oh.
her know that her panties is older than
yes.
her.
Yo, if that was not the funniest part of the show, how could we miss that?
I forgot all about
that
that.
was
Yep.
the funniest
That-
part.
That I feel like that was kind of like a dope little shade. Like, I got draws older than
Like,
you.
Yes.
don't do me. That's
I'm
what
gonna
that
have
was.
to
That was
use
like,
that one
listen,
day.
don't do that.
One of these days, I'm gonna throw it at these young cats.
Right.
Like, girl, my panties is older than you. Okay.
I'm gonna steal that one day. So let's move on to my favorite part of the show: predictions.
Oh.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So even though it's the season finale, do we think that we're gonna get another season after this? Honestly,
I think it's gonna be
Ooh.
so much drama.
I would like to say yes. I would like to say yes.
You're like, okay, what do you think?
I think we would, especially after such big like breakthrough happening with Tamar. So
Y'all think WeTV's gonna take them back after all that mess?
possibly? I mean, they got a whole little show, 2 shows out of this whole
That's
meeting.
true.
So
That's
you know,
true.
people are here for the drama.
I wish WeTV would do a reunion. I'm not usually one for a reunion, especially of this show, but I think this show deserves a little bit of a reunion.
Wow, you know what?
Because
I
especially
agree.
since we didn't
That's
see
a
them
good
that
idea.
much during the season because they were on strike and Toni was away.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
this would have been a good time to have like some type
Wow.
of family
Yeah.
reunion.
Yeah.
And
You need to pitch that
You
a
sh- yeah,
family
'cause
reunion.
WeTV family reunion. Your
Yes.
hosts are right here. Let's make this happen.
Especially that will let us know if that session with Iyanla
Really worked,
or
yeah.
not.
We need some answers. We definitely need some answers. So if we do get another season, what do you guys expect to see or think we're gonna see?
I think Tamar is still gonna be with some.
Well, she got a new man. You think we're gonna
And
see?
that's what we'll see that
see
unfold.
somewhere the new
Yeah.
man.
Because we can't watch Tamar and Vince because that's done.
That is done.
So-
And the thing is, have we heard anything from or about Vince since?
Nope.
Like, where
No.
did bro go?
Well, he
Besides
was in the
his
hospital.
medical,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was in the hospital.
Oh,
I think for gout. She was on once again on Wendy Williams, and she talked about him being being in the hospital with gout. And I think she went to go visit him.
No.
No, she didn't. She didn't. I couldn't remember if she did or she didn't.
We seen what she said about him the last show. She didn't go.
She didn't go visit him. Yeah. So
I didn't know that. That's my first time
Yeah.
hearing that. Okay, so we might see a little bit more of Tamar's new man. What else y'all think?
I think Traci will finally start to kind of take a little bit more assertive role in her life. I think that going to work was her breakthrough, and as Jay Lamar said, being able to, because I don't think there's anything wrong with having selfish moments. We all have to look out for yourself, and he even said it. If I'm looking out for Brittany and Brittany's looking out for Brittany, who's looking out for Tyler?
Right.
Like you have to look out for yourself first. Like what they say on the plane, put the air mask on you, and then
First.
you tend to your
Yep.
child. Like if you're not
Exactly.
any good, you can't look out for anybody else. So.
That's real. That's
And I
real.
think it'll be the same for Toni, even though we seen Toni doing her thing a lot.
What? Spill it. What?
Kimberly Mayfield said, "No more Braxtons. This is the perfect."
You know what? I hate to be the Debbie Downer of this episode, but I think it would be cool if they kind of canceled it here.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You think this would be a good conclusion?
They can't be the Kardashians of like the black folks.
Nah, because like, the thing about the Kardashians is that they're business savvy. They know how to take some trash and make it into an investment. You know what I mean? This family, like, y'all fight too much to even like make this a profit. You know what I mean?
They couldn't even get the restaurant going with Who was that?
Was it Traci?
Trina.
Trina. Yeah.
The restaurant's not there anymore? The,
Well, I don't know. Remember,
bar
she
chicks?
wanted
Bar
to do
chicks.
the
Something for the
family.
family, yeah.
Yeah. And they couldn't even get it together. They're like,
Couldn't even get
no.
that together.
Well, here's a little bit of gossip. Tamar Chronicles just said that Tamar alluded to her potentially leaving the show on her Twitter after the episode, I guess she's pertaining to this episode, aired. She said that she's looking forward to a new chapter in her life.
Well, go on in. Just kidding.
I mean, without Tamar, I'm not watching.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm like. I just feel like this show has like. I mean, you know, I think it was a great run, but I just feel like after this this season, there's not much of a show left. You know what I mean? Like it trickled down to Traci, and then all y'all want to come back at the end. I don't really feel like it can be revived.
It's
at
like
this
you're
point.
pulling at air at this point.
You know, yeah. It's trying
I
to,
can
like,
see that.
Yeah, beating a dead horse with a stick at this point.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I guess you're right. Because I mean, the whole Gabe and Trina thing is settled. Towanda and Andre is done. We don't really care who they're dating. I'm
Do
just
not
saying.
care.
Traci has her whole situation going on, which isn't enough to carry a show.
Right.
Toni, we can follow her on Instagram and get our lives there because she doesn't really let us in her personal stuff.
Right. Now, I would love to see a spin-off show of Toni's wedding.
I
to
just want
Birdman.
Toni. Just give me Toni, and I'm good.
I'm sorry, even Toni and Birdman.
That would be a
because
funny episode.
Their dynamic, like she doesn't even understand what he's saying.
I don't
all the
understand what
time.
he says,
Don't know
and I
why.
just feel like there's an. I don't want him to come after me, but there's
He's
an,
already coming after
there's
me.
an
He gonna find
odor
you.
that I feel like just
An odor?
exudes.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like if I was in his presence,
An odor. Oh my gosh. He actually looks like he smells good to me.
his breath looks like it smells.
Smell like money.
You think
Not
his breath is fresh?
I
breath,
don't know
but
That's
about
what I'm
breath.
referring to.
Is it the grills? Is that? First of all, my man got grills and his breath don't stink.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, Birdman. Apologies.
But no, I think that would be really, really, really cool to see like a wedding episode. You know,
Yeah,
the
that'd be
Candy
dope.
did it, everybody else does it, so that would be interesting to see Toni walk down the aisle. You know,
You need to
Yeah.
pitch that too. You know,
maybe
y'all
I
need to just go
will.
and make
Weezy,
these.
call me.
Yes.
That's what I said. The family reunion can be the
Yeah,
end. I'll
yeah.
go with that.
That would be kind of cool. All right, cool. Well, y'all, it's been real this season. I hate that it came to an end, but we gotta wrap it up at some point. I'm your girl, Brittany Q Hill. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Brittany Q Hill. Tell us where we can follow you
Oh
guys.
yeah, you can get your entire life following me on all social media at the Tyler Tyson.
Hey guys, and you could get part of your life following me on all social media platforms at Imani Ajak and at MoniJTV.com, where I'm covering everything pop culture and news.
All right, y'all. We might see you next season. Maybe not.
We'll see.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.